Jerry Schmitz, the Executive Director of the South Dakota Soybean Checkoff and South Dakota Soybean Association. We started the year off in January and things looked like they were all going to fall into place well. It looked like it was going to be a great production year. There was talk early this spring in South Dakota with some farmers considering shifting some of their soybean acres over to corn acres. Unfortunately, COVID caused a problem in the use of ethanol and other fuels. So that drove corn prices down, and so farmers pretty much stayed their normal 50-50 ratio of planting, and planting went extremely well. The weather was wonderful. Folks were able to get into the fields earlier than anticipated. They were able to plant more acres than they had anticipated, and moisture levels were near perfect for almost the entire state. Even through June, July, it looked like it was just going to be an historic production year for South Dakota. As we got into August, South Dakota realized that things were turning drier. The rains weren't coming quite as often as had hoped. And what we were looking at for a historic production year started turning into looking like it might be just an average year. And some of the areas were getting extremely dry, and toward late August, some of the soybeans started dying due to lack of moisture. In the area that I live in, which is the extreme southeast portion of South Dakota, we had good moisture throughout almost the entire growing season. At the very end, we lost some, and so the top of the crop was probably taken, but we will still have a very good production year. Last year, yields were down a bit in South Dakota, especially due to all of the wet weather. This year, I would anticipate we are going to be at average or a little above, which for South Dakota is probably right around 47 bushels per acre. I have already heard some farmers tell me that they were in an area that it continued to rain through August, and they are harvesting 70 to 100 bushels per acre. Now, I've heard the opposite of that in areas where it didn't rain, and they're getting in the teens for soybeans. I think that the crop will be completed 1 to 2 weeks earlier than normal. I think storage is going to be adequate this year compared to normal, I will put it that way. Most farmers had moved the old crop out and made room for the new crop coming in. The elevators, a number of them have the storage facilities for a normal crop. There will be movement of grain. They kind of count on that during harvest to move some of that grain out. Throughout the winter, there should be sufficient storage. And then we had the difficulties with travel. The checkoff couldn't go out and meet its customers, and customers were having difficulty traveling to South Dakota. And so we discovered we could do things virtually that we never realized before. And so we started having meetings with people in just a number of countries, and it was as though we were there or they were here. And so we had a wonderful time and maybe had some conversations that we wouldn't have otherwise had the opportunity to do even if we had done them in person. We thoroughly enjoy working with our clients overseas, and we very much want to meet each client individually and getting to know each other and sharing stories, and really that's what it's mostly about. We want to move the product, but we also very much enjoy the relationships of the people that we work with in doing that.